The Torah, which is the original Bible, the Torah is a book that is designed to show us how to live our life. And in it, the Torah, or even the Bible, covers law, which is cosmic law, law of the land. It also covers drama. That drama, how we would interpret it today, would be our life stories or our lifetime stories. The lifetime stories would be the reincarnation side of it. It also covers history, which is our life cycles, or that's the reincarnation. Poetry, which is the songs within our heart. It covers philosophy, which is our belief systems, our values, our morals, and the psychology of our mind. It covers art, which is our creativity. It covers science, which is our knowledge and understanding, both of the universe as well as the laws of the land. It covers religion, which is structured practices. And lastly, it covers worship, which is the praise and thanksgiving and gratitude. All of that is packed within the Bible or the Torah. But we have not been really taught that all of these elements are in the book to show us how to live a good life, a better life. We're only taught how to read the scripture from the, I like to say, the character side of it for all the people that's in the Bible and what they have gone through. But we have to translate in today's language, in today's world, how is that applicable to me? When you read scripture, you will see every facet of your life in that book. It is there. No matter what kind of experience that you can have, may have, or had, is in that book. So we have to learn how to use the tools. That's what God gave us. He gave us tools, and we have to learn how to use the tools so that we can now co-create, design, and build the type of life that we really want to have.
Now, since you mentioned that the Bible have been changed so much, do you still recommend people reading Bible?
Absolutely. Now, I have several Bibles, but I read the Hebrew Bible, the Israeli Bible, because it's the most authentic going back to scriptures. I have several Bibles, electronic and as well as metaphysical Bibles and dictionaries, and I have Christian Bibles. I have all types because I do a lot of research and I study and I want to see what the comparisons and the differences are, because I want to be as authentic in my understanding as possible. And as I mentioned before, so many people have written Bibles. So when you read scripture, you have to always say, or I do, says, let there be light. Light means understanding. Let there be understanding when I read this book so that I can get the insight that I need while I am reading it. And that's how you're able to filter out the hand of man.
But do you think different people may have different understanding of the same scripture because they're...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Because everyone is at a different level of understanding. We're all at different levels of evolution. And that's what the whole cycle of reincarnation is, because some people come into the atmosphere of Earth and they're just coming here, they're newbies, they're just coming here for the first time. They're reckless, they're out of control. These are what I call the dark cobbles. This is where your violence lie, this is where your harm and all these other elements lie. When for people who are just coming in, they don't know what they're supposed to do or what is expected of them. Then you have higher levels of consciousness where people are very clear. They've been here several times. The light bulb came on within one of those cycles or two of those cycles of reincarnation, where they realize that they're here to grow, discover, develop, and to also not only serve, but to prepare their life for fulfillment, spiritual fulfillment. And that is the highest level that we could possibly go. So within our life cycles, we're constantly spiraling upward each time, so that we can work on ourselves, undo, clear karma, clear the pain, clear the perceptions of we've put into our consciousness, so that we can live a fulfilled life. Because the goal is living a fulfilled life. That's your wholeness. But it takes time for us to get there. We don't come here on the first round doing that.
I see.
So that's what makes us different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that you use the spiral as the metaphor, because I think it's, at least in Western society, we see everything as linear, like a linear progression. But if you look at our life, we tend to experience similar things in each season. So it's spiral up.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we all spiral up, make good
Mhm.
choices. And if you
Mhm.
look at our DNA, it's a spiral as well.
Mhm.
And our Kundalini, it's a spiral as well.
Mhm. The
It's a
spirals are all over this planet. You have stairways in a spiral. You have shells in a spiral. You got, spirals in the sky. You have I mean, all spirals are everywhere, teaching us the lesson that this is the progression of life. This is how the progression of life move.
Makes sense. And if you look at the nature, nothing is linear.
That's why we must read. That's why we must research, and I have done extensive research. It started out for me personally. And then Yahweh God said to me, after I had got to a certain plateau of my learning, he wants me to now share it with other people. And I'm saying, you want me to do what? I mean, that was the exact expression that I had on my face. Give it away. I haven't healed myself. So how am I going to tell somebody else how to heal? But that was 40 years of study that I have applied myself to. I've done the work. And so when you do the work, the evidence of the work comes forth. And it doesn't mean that I don't have challenges. Oh, I do. But I understand what is happening, and I have to sit back and contemplate my approach of how I am going to interact with the situation that sits before me. So now I stand in my strength. I stand in my knowingness and not stand in my fear, because fear is just, everything is an illusion. Everything. You're an illusion. The moment you get off of Zoom, you're gone. Okay, so, but if we look at life like that, a lot of things that we look into the world is not real, it's temporary. And we have to create the permanency through our spirit, that eternal part of us through the spirit. Because once we leave the body, this colorful suit that we wear, once we leave this, our existence is still there. We're eternal. Our spirit never dies. Our spirit and our soul never die. But the body will lay down, and the body only has a certain number of years for each person.
Yeah. I've read about the planet is a manifestation tool, and everything is just a hologram. It's not as real as you think. It's a simulation game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see in the future religion being replaced by spirituality, or do you still see them
They will
coexist?
coexist. They will always coexist. Yeah,
Yeah.
they will always coexist, because they coexist because we really need both of them. We need the sacred texts give us real clear direction of the laws and how to live our life and what we should do and what we should not do. However, the spirituality gives us the freedom to make the choices of how we want to do. We want to be able to make sure that in our focus of elevating our lives through the spiral, we're elevating. That's our evolution. Now we start down here and then we constantly go, and it gets wider and wider and wider and wider until we get to our plateau of spiritual fulfillment. To that plateau of we may have gained so much understanding and knowledge and wisdom that we no longer have to come here. However, there are higher dimensions that we can now go into, that which is the next level. You know, everybody has a next level. God has one too. Where we enter into realms of higher consciousness, you know, like the aliens. The aliens are a much higher consciousness than we are. But we must develop our spiritual intelligence through our study, practice, and prayer.